another edition for Wrestling Pulse. I am J-Man. This edition of the Pulse, giving you guys our WWE Elimination Chamber 2015 preview, coming in this Sunday on the WWE Network. Finishing off May's free WWE Network subscription month with another pay-per-view. Well, not pay-per-view, it's whatever live special you want to call it. But this card looks fucking stacked. Good stuff here since the fucking week and a half that we've had since Payback, and how things have changed as far as these bigger shows.
I think WWE's finally paying us back with something good.
Ah, look at that! But they didn't do it at Payback, unfortunately.
Yeah,
with Payback and Extreme Rules being definitely subpar efforts. Well, I guess subpar is good because in golf terms, not good efforts. Efforts. There we go. That sounds better than not good efforts. That sounded retarded. But yeah, so on paper, this looks like some great stuff, and a quick turnaround to build this card after Payback. It was kind of weird. This pay-per-view being advertised
nowhere
a week before Payback, so 2 weeks ago being advertised, and now having this special, bringing back one of the biggest gimmicks they have. And gimmick pay-per-views they have, Elimination Chamber. So definitely looking forward to this one. Should be some good stuff. We have the pre-show. No
before
match.
SmackDown.
It'll have a this is before SmackDown is even taped. It's probably in process of taping. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. Nothing really happens in SmackDown anymore. But the pre-show, not having a match listed, there'll probably be a match on here. Eventually, actually on Sunday, it's what they normally do. They list something in this, throw some shit in. Yeah, maybe not with him not being on the card.
Or Wyatt.
Yeah, true, him not being on the card either. But they have scheduled Miz TV with Daniel Bryan. So you'll probably get the typical stuff here. Hopefully we'll hear maybe a little bit more about Bryan's injury, what's going on with that, what's going on to help him out, whatever the case may be. The latest word that I've been hearing about is that it is not looking good, and it's not looking like he's going to be able to compete anytime soon or ever, maybe, because they just don't know what the fuck is going on, and how long it's going to take, or what the process is, or this and that, or having him come back and get re-injured and this, and so trying to get him on TV as much as possible. I know I saw a sneak peek of his DVD coming out soon, which looks fucking awesome. So that should be really cool. Got a full documentary and everything coming with a shit ton of it. Yeah. The part that I watched was him talking about going into WrestleMania 30, about the plan. He was supposed to face Sheamus or something, and then all crazy shit happened, and they did everything that they did at WrestleMania 30. So, and he talked about that, and talked about how they were so upset with him not coming out in that Rumble, and then they brought Ray out at 30, and everybody booed the shit out of Ray because they knew Bryan wasn't coming out. So he's like, how would they boo Ray? He's like the biggest babyface ever, but they just wanted me so bad. So that looks great. Should be some, probably the best thing since fucking Punk's DVD, I would think, if they get the full documentary style.
If they get the full documentary, that's going to be close to as good as Heyman's recently.
Heyman's was good too. Yeah, recent one lately, but so it should be some good stuff if we get all the in-depth stuff, especially at the beginning of his career too. That'd be really cool to hear him.
I think
his
that may be,
about it.
God, I don't want to talk about that. That may be just here's a sign. Here's the end of his career.
It's unfortunate to really, and I know WWE, their biggest thing is get the most money out of the fucking guys that humanly can fucking possibly do, which is terrible, and I fucking hate that. But hopefully we'll maybe get some more promising news as far as his injury goes and stuff like that on Miz TV. They'll probably break it down. It'll be a bunch of stupid shit with Miz and stuff like that. But Daniel Bryan, hopefully, it's going to be great to see him in this capacity, not the capacity we want to, but hopefully we can hear some more about his injury. Anything you want to talk about? Nothing?
I literally checked it already.
Okay.
I'm just...
Yeah. First match on the official card, we have the man that gravity forgot, Neville, going up against Bo Dallas. This randomly kind of getting thrown together after Payback, after... I guess you're saying, well, Neville's done with Barrett, so let's move him on to something here. Not seeing Neville in that IC title chamber match pisses me off. I really wanted to see him in there. I thought he could just flourish in that fucking thing. Holy shit. I mean, the stuff that he could do in that atmosphere, wow. A lot along the lines of what we saw with Rob Van Dam in the first Elimination Chamber, the spots that you saw with that made that chamber, probably, in my opinion, the best still of all time, the first chamber. I just fucking love it so much, the Survivor Series 02. But the stuff that, RVD did in there, the high-flying type, guy that you could throw in that atmosphere would be some great stuff. especially with the talent that's in that IC title chamber. So would have been awesome to see that. But Bo Dallas coming in here doing his thing. That didn't work when he came up originally. Taking out Neville, blah, blah, blah. Bringing in the storyline of, back in NXT and Neville beating Bo Dallas for the championship and sending Bo Dallas on his way or whatever when Neville won the NXT title. This could be all right. I don't imagine it getting a bunch of time. It's just used to get Neville over again, put him in there with a guy that you could easily get him over on. And I easily see Neville getting the win here. But could be okay. Probably something towards the beginning of the card to really start it off here. But again, the biggest thing here, get Neville over, make him look great, and continue his hot streak that he's been going on since coming up to the main roster.
Neville winning.
Yep. Next matchup. We have a very tame quaddie this evening.
I've been in a car for way too long.
Yeah, big traffic jam. You don't have to talk about it. I don't give a shit.
No, I'm just thinking of what they could do with Bo Dallas. It's
Nothing.
like put him with the Wyatt family would be the only thing that would make any sense, and that's still pushing.
You're gonna have and everybody's like, put Bo Dallas with Bray Wyatt. I'm like, how do you? Okay, you say that, but like, make it work. You know what I mean? It just is weird. Like turning Bo Dallas's character into something that fit with Bray Wyatt. I just don't see it. Like, to me, everybody's like, put him with his brother, put him with his brother. I'm like, I don't know.
The only way you could do something is have Wyatt come out and just destroy him. Just like have him.
Because it's gonna be weird, like trying to tell the story of like how Bray Wyatt went his. If they bring the brother, hey, he's your brother. How Bray Wyatt went his way and how Bo Dallas went his way. Like, how are they going to explain that?
See that the only way that you could do with that is if they have a feud.
And who would really want to see that?
A monkey.
Yeah, probably a retarded one. Maybe. I don't know. But everybody's like, put him with his brother. I'm like, okay, well, tell me a way that works. I don't know.
If you have
Maybe people out there, put some comments down in the section. I haven't thought about it a whole lot, so I don't know. I could probably think of something that Mace would sort of sound right. But the connection of the two, if they bring the brother, thing in there, how that would work. Obviously, you would drastically change Bo Dallas' character, and it would drastically make him more intriguing. But to put him with, with a Bray Wyatt. But just the connection of how their history got to where they are, they would either totally forget about it. I don't fucking. Who knows?
There's ways that think about it now, but I don't want to.
Next up, we have a triple threat matchup for the Divas Championship. We have champion Nikki Bella, Paige, and Naomi. Paige coming back a week or so ago. Great to see that after filming some shitty movie that'll be on Disney or something with, I think, The Miz, or I don't fucking, who knows.
Oh, that's cute. Miz made and so did Paige.
Something like that. But great to see her back coming in and taking out Nikki and being the very anti-diva that we've come to know for Paige. So great to see her in there. And the talent that Paige, provides as far as adding her back in there. Naomi just continuing on with a heel run that no one believes or no one gives a shit about. And with Tamina, it's just like, why don't we throw some more people we don't give a shit about together? And Nikki, the face turn with her and Brie and...
hold on. I think we talked about this as Payback. When did that happen?
That was Payback?
Or Extreme Rules.
That was 2 months ago? A month ago?
Or no, whenever our last paper was Payback.
What are we talking about? What are you talking about?
When did Nikki become face?
It was just random. It was over...
a cup of coffee?
No, Naomi. It was with when she started feuding with Naomi, because Naomi turned heel on Paige, and then they kind of did the whole overnight transition of the Bellas.
So whenever she drank her coffee, she became nice.
Pretty much. Yeah. So the face turn for the Bellas and Nikki still holding on championship, having it, I think, since Survivor Series. She has had the fucking Diva, which we attended. Since I think she beat AJ for that in that 1 second match that were Brie kissed, kissed AJ and then Nikki won the title. So pretty long title run here for Nikki. Triple threat usually adds an atmosphere of the champion won't get pinned, blah blah blah. You can get it to where you can set up something in the future where Nikki can bitch about losing and not losing the championship. I honestly have no fucking idea. I probably would just stick with Nikki retaining, but then again, it seems like you could just throw it on anybody and it doesn't matter. Unlike the, NXT Women's Championship that fucking matters, and that produced one of the most fucking amazing women's matches I've ever seen in my entire life, and one of the best in WWE history, at this past TakeOver show, which we will do we were already talking about it. We will get a goddamn topic show out probably this weekend. Before the pay-per-view. I don't know if we'll upload it before the review or if we'll upload it the beginning of next week or whatever the case may be. We might wait till next week to talk about that, but it'll probably be a giant NXT discussion to talk about everything that's going on in NXT, which is fantastic shit. Unfortunately, the one goddamn night that I was, been watching fucking Survivor for the last 6 months, and I was really curious what was going to happen. I figured I'd see it everywhere, seeing that, and now I see all the shit that's happening on TakeOver.
I ejaculated, like, I had called him or told him not to read anything, just watch it.
Yeah, and I was sitting there, I was like, God damn it, why does it have to be the word fucking... And I knew it was going to be good, and then
good was an understatement, guy.
Ejaculation happens, and watching it the next day, and I was like, damn it. So, we will definitely be covering
I really want to talk about it now. It may happen tonight.
Well, maybe we do. Maybe Quaddy's going to second guess himself, and maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Who knows when we'll upload? It's a surprise. With a surprise pulse tonight, guys. But we will be talking about it soon. Sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later. What the fuck were we talking about? Oh, the women's division. That's right. That's how sidetracked we get. People don't like that. We had comments about people getting sidetracked, and they're not.
We have ADHD.
They are not fans of that. And to that I say, don't watch our videos. We don't give a shit how many people view it. We care about the people that do view it.
I think we've gotten to that point whenever,
So, I mean, they're like, you guys need to lighten up on the inside jokes and lighten up on the nonsensical. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, sure, guy.
I think we've gotten to the point where we went from really wanting viewership to...
we're just going to talk about wrestling, because that's what we want to do. But yeah, I guess I'll go with Nikki retaining here. Love to see Paige get the title, but again, it's just like you put it here, you put it there, you put it anywhere, whatever. Yeah, so that's
Charlotte winning.
That's what's going on. That'd be sweet. Next matchup, we got some history being made here. We have the first ever tag team elimination chamber match for the WWE tag titles.
Our cards are finally coming to life.
So looking forward to this one. We have champions The New Day, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, the Primetime Players finally in a fucking match. The Lucha Dragons, the Ascension, and Los Matadores. This has been a discussion for all the Pulse guys. And really a discussion just in the wrestling community as far as, putting a tag match inside of an elimination chamber. You have the size of the pods where you could fit a tag team in there. You could have them come in intervals and have two come out at the same time. And they said it'll start with two, tornado style, and they'll start with that, and then more teams will come in. Super looking forward to this. And you don't have a lot of times where you have new, innovative things coming in the wrestling world. That you haven't seen before, and this is something that we have not seen before. So, super intrigued by how this is going to go down, and really looking forward to this. Again, you have the New Day, kind of the insurmountable odds going into this one. You have a ton of talent here: Cesaro and Kidd, the Lucha Dragons, Primetime Players, finally getting in a goddamn match, and then throw in the kind of teams that are just there, the Ascension and Los Matadores. So. This should be some really good stuff. How this is going to be booked should be intriguing. Obviously, you're probably going to get some teams. I wouldn't think they would want to get more than 4 teams in at one time. That's going to get to be a clusterfuck. It's just a lot of people out there at one time. So I would think you probably get some early eliminations to get some teams out of the way. You could kind of have some things. It's just going to be a ton of spots. Honestly, it's just going to be a giant, just enjoyable fucking spot fest to watch, because you can't really do anything unless you have it to where, there's teams in there, one gets eliminated, another comes in, and you kind of do the 2-on-2 thing, or the tag team on tag team thing. But if you start to have it where it's triple threats involved, and now you got 6 to fucking 8 guys in there, it could get a little clustered, especially being in the chamber. So you're going to see a lot of outside spots on the steel grates. Shit probably climbing on top of fucking, the pods and stuff. This should just be some really fun stuff here. And hopefully it's pulled off well so we can see it in the future. Because this is something that we really, really wanted to see. We wanted to see it with the Shield and the Wyatts. I believe that was beginning of last year, too. We wanted to see that at Chamber, see if they could pull it off. Obviously, they could have. We could have just had a member of each one in a pod and done it that way. But with this, with actual tag teams and having 6 legit tag teams in here, this should just be a fun fucking mess to watch, because it's a lot of talent in here, a lot of stuff involved. Winners... not the Ascension, not the Los Matadores. I don't think they'll give it to Lucha Dragons. They haven't built them up enough. Primetime Players, probably not. To me, it's, again, down to Cesaro and Kidd and New Day. They can have New Day survive all the way if they want to have them start or something like that. Cesaro and Kidd probably would be my favorite team as far as that goes. But the bottom line here should be a joy to watch, and it's, again, something fun that you don't see, an innovative concept coming in. Not the concept of the Elimination Chamber is not innovative, because we've seen it before, obviously, but throwing the tag teams in there is an innovation to that concept. So we'll be extremely intrigued to see how it's pulled off, and extremely looking forward to this one.
This is one of those matches where we've sat and talked about it since Chamber came out of ways they can make this more exciting. Chamber's always exciting because you never know what the hell is going to happen. And then whenever I read it, I was like, God, we started naming tag teams that would fit and tag teams that wouldn't fit. And then we started going through the other ways they could use it. And they used it twice in this pay-per-view for actually good uses of it. Like J-Man said, there's going to be so much cluster in this that it may just turn into a big spot fest. But just starting out, I think if they start with the right teams, they could do a lot of shit towards making this happen again. Winners, I say Tyson Kidd and Cesaro winning this. I see New Day breaking down, hopefully, and maybe falling apart. They can't be the new current age of the
tag division.
No, Brock and
the Nation Domination.
Yep, they can't do it because they don't have enough oomph behind it. But like J-Man said, this could be very good because it's history in the making. So we'll see what happens.
Right. What two teams you got starting it?
Oh fuck, Lucha Dragons and New Day.
I could see them just doing New Day, Cesaro, and Kidd and going all the way. I would love to see just 5 minutes of Cesaro and Kidd and Lucha Dragons. I want to see some interaction with those two teams because that could be some great stuff.
Or Lucha Dragons and primetime players would be good.
Maybe they could just start off maybe Cesaro and Kidd and like the Ascension to get the Ascension out of there or something like that. Get a heel team out of there quick. But should be some really good stuff there. I would think, but it'd be intriguing how
from here on down. I think this is what we've all been dreaming of what's going to happen.
Yeah, the rest of this card is fucking solid for sure. Speaking of fucking solid, we have Pro Wrestling Pulse Dream Match finally taking place here out of fucking nowhere. We have champion versus champion. We have
out of nowhere, out of our fucking heads.
Yeah, well, true. We have the United States champion John Cena going up against the reigning defending NXT champion Kevin Owens. Holy fuck. That moment on Raw, I've said it to Quad, I've said it to Ryan, to me is the best moment on Raw since...
Robert.
What's that?
Say Robert.
I don't know if I did. I might have. Is probably the best moment on Raw since, well, obviously last year with, fucking Evolution coming back and, the Shield breakup and stuff like that. But, I mean, you got moments like, Punk turning heel on Rock at the 1000th Raw. This was one of the best moments in the last couple years on Raw. Hands down, to me. This was outstanding. The way that they pulled this off, having, Cena do his whole spiel and then have the open challenge being listed, or being, open or whatever the fuck you want to say it. And it's always you always got that feel of like that Royal Rumble feel where you're like, I don't know who the fuck's going to come out here. It could just be your standard, week to week thing that we've seen that produces great matches. Or it could be something special, as we saw with Sami Zayn coming out and that fucking awesome shit that we saw, in Montreal a couple weeks ago.
With Bret Hart calling out.
With Bret Hart calling him out. But this was one of those special ones to the nth degree. Having Kevin Owens come out and the promo being cut between the two and really setting up that NXT show, the Unstoppable show. Bringing in Sami Zayn and, Cena saying, he got injured in my match and I want to say Steen. And Owens saying, no, he didn't. I did. And he just re-aggravated it, basically, in yours, but I was the initial person to hurt him. And finally, I have always wanted... my Cena hate is obviously way down from, 10 fucking years ago, because it's just like, whatever. It's nothing new. He's the guy that's just there. It's John Cena. So it's like, whatever. But you come to respect him, obviously, for his work rate and his ability and really the passion that he has for the business, because it's undeniable. But every fucking time in the promos that he cuts, against young guys, or younger guys, if you want to say it, and most of the cases, those younger guys aren't really younger, because they've actually been working longer than a John Cena has, in the wrestling industry. And this is one of those cases. It happened with Punk. It happened with Bryan. They always come in here, oh, kid, you're going to do great. I'm like, who are you fucking kidding? Like, who are you kidding, Punk, who was wrestling fucking years before you, and a Bryan who was wrestling years before you? And this is the case here. But Owens is finally the guy to be like, don't give me veteran advice, because you're not a veteran to me. I've been doing this longer than you. I love that line. That's such a Steen thing to say, because it's so fucking true. It's just the blunt, fucking honest truth, and he doesn't give it any other way but that. And that's great because that's Kevin Steen. That's the Steen that we fucking love. And seeing that character transition over onto WWE is great. And that's what we were fearful of. We didn't know if we would get Kevin Steen. And we are getting a WWE version of Kevin Steen, but nonetheless, it's Kevin fucking Steen, Kevin Owens, whatever the fuck you want to say. Whatever the fuck. But this was fucking great. The promo exchange between the two, it got Owens over great. It got the titles over great, the US and the NXT Championship more, which was profound, which is what they needed to do, is get the NXT title over going into that takeover show. So yeah, the promo exchange was great. Owens obviously held his own. He's one of the best, talkers in the industry, without a doubt. And then having him get over with the the pop-up powerbomb and stepping on the U.S. title and holding up the NXT title and walking out, just fucking outstanding. Could not have been booked any better. They pulled it off brilliantly, and they got over what they needed to get over, which was NXT, the NXT title, the takeover show, and most importantly, Kevin Owens. They just hook, line, and sinker. Every single thing they did absolutely flawlessly with that. And having the end of that night announcing that Kevin Owens and John Cena would have a match at Elimination Chamber, I'm just like, holy shit. I mean, no setup here. Just one night, boom, and now we're just going to go straight into that. After seeing this stuff with Rusev and everything going on there, and then going into this with Owens, which is, one of the dream matches that we looked at when Kevin Steen got signed by WWE. I want to see a fucking Steen-Cena match, because those are polar opposite guys. Those are, the Punk and Cenas, the Bryan and Cenas. That's Steen and Cena is exactly what it is. Polar opposite ends of the spectrum. You have the, stand up for all this right and blah, 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 and you have Steen that just is the I don't give a shit type guy. And that could prove for being one of the best feuds going into the future with, just the polar opposite ends of the spectrum as far as character goes and gimmicks and everything like that. So, pulled it off flawlessly. Can't say enough about how much I love that segment. It was outstanding. And this match, holy shit. I mean, this is, again, like we said, it's a fucking dream match for us. It's something that we've wanted to see for a very long time. And I think this will be, some solid stuff. I don't think it's going to be something that, we'll probably end up seeing more of in the future. It'll probably just be a taste of that, a little appetizer for what we could possibly see for, Kevin Owens and a John Cena into the future. But I look for this, for the time that it gets, to be some really good stuff. Because what we've known is how they have booked Kevin Owens in NXT is fucking fantastic. Because he is basically NXT's Brock Lesnar. That's basically what he is. He goes in there, anything he touches, he destroys. And that's how Kevin Steen should be booked, because that's what he does. He goes in there, he whoops ass, and kill Steen kill. That's how it goes. Fight Owens fight, PG version of that, whatever. But that's how it goes. So that was fucking fantastic with how they pulled that off there. This should be some good stuff this Sunday, and something that we are extremely looking forward to, and honestly could be the fucking main event of the show if they wanted to do it, without a doubt. Big thing here is obviously to continue what they continued on with that segment, is to get Kevin Owens over, get NXT over in a whole, but definitely get Kevin Owens over in this match. To me, I would think it'd be fucking awesome if he could get the win in this match. It'll probably be some sort of cheap way, but no matter what, at the end of the night, the biggest key is to get Kevin Owens over in this performance. It's probably not going to continue in the future with what we'll talk about in our topic show eventually, whenever we talk about it, because I have a feeling that Kevin Owens has some other fish to be frying down in Florida, because he's got his hands full there. But I'm like saving Joe's name like he's like the Kraken or something. Like, don't want to say it because we talk about it for the topic show. But I think this will be a taste of things to come. Big thing here: get Owens over, get NXT over in a whole. Like I said, could end in a weird DQE type bullshit. I hope not. I hope maybe they just get sort of a cheapish, but don't make him seem like a bitch type win over Cena, but you have to get Owens over in this performance. So looking forward to this. Should be some great stuff, and we'll be eyes glued for sure, 100% towards this one.
What I'm about to say is going to cause some ruffles somewhere.
Some feathers?
It's going to ruffle some feathers.
Got some feather ruffling going on?
You all know my hatred towards John Cena.
See, I think it's diminished over the past couple of years.
Are you still talking again?
Okay. I was just being an observant viewer, speaking for the fans.
I think I agree, because what John Cena's finally realized is it's time to step out of the main light.
Yep.
And what WWE's finally realized is it's time for John Cena not to be holding the title. It's not time for John Cena.
A world title, right?
It's not time for John Cena to be the face of the company. It's time for these other guys to finally step up. And this open challenge is the smartest thing WWE can do.
Yep.
one, you could test the waters with some of these newer guys, the Sami Zayn, the Kevin Owens, did Neville wrestle him?
Yeah, Neville did too. Yeah.
You have guys like that where they could test the waters and see how these younger guys come up.
Yep.
And you could have guys that don't wrestle it often. The
Stardust,
the
Zack Ryder's.
Guys like that, where you won't from like you see on Superstars that can actually have a good match with John Cena.
Right.
See how they work with each other. Maybe you have something going on with the future. When John, like we talked about multiple times before, John Cena does not have the world title, blah blah. But whenever you have these guys that are coming in, and they can start morphing with John Cena and see how these things can go with the Sami Zayn, and that unbelievable. That has to be the top 10 Raw matches in the past 5 years.
It was pretty good. He's had a lot of great ones. The one with Ambrose was really good. Neville was good. There's been all great. Yeah.
And then you bring a guy like an Owens in, because we've seen how Lesnar and Cena work. And then you bring a guy like Owens in, and it's like, oh my God, it's like Brock Lesnar Part 2. And then whenever that all happened, and Owens like, I'm not wrestling you, I call the shots, and then he power bombs him, and steps on the title. Everybody's like, oh shit, here we go. This is Invasion Part 2. And then I started thinking, and I didn't talk to you about this because I thought about this in the truck today. What happens if they do have an Invasion Part 2?
I can see it. You got the perfect guy to do it against.
You have Owens as like the voice of it.
Right.
You have all these young guys, this young talent that you have on this roster, and just at the next takeover show or
it honestly
live event, just have WWE take over or do something with that.
Right.
And then what's the next pay-per-view?
Money in the Bank.
Do something at Money in the Bank. Do something where you could do a takeover part.
True.
Where WWE comes and takes over NXT. And then do something in that form.
True.
Where you have all these guys that come down, like WWE guys come down, and you have one night only. You have the WWE roster versus NXT roster.
It's very true. I think it's definitely, it really hasn't been something I thought about.
As I go in the whole NXT stuff.
Right, right. It really hasn't been something that we've thought about, but it's definitely something that is easily possible. And it's something that would make a lot of sense, especially to a guy like Triple H, who probably would love the same thing that we love. Big angles, big storylines, something like that.
And if you look at all the stuff, I know we're going totally...
Sorry
to sidetrack you, fuckers.
They could fuck off.
When anything Owens does, and like... They showed Owens and Tripp talking. They showed Owens and Tripp shaking hands afterwards. You know Triple H knows what the fuck's going on. And whenever you have the Kraken come in and do what he did after the TakeOver show, and just fucking just...
I got an idea. To just go... Because, I haven't thought about it like he was saying it. What if you have... Because when you have Brock Lesnar come back in, he's going to be face, obviously, coming back in. If you have a Brock Lesnar maybe take the title and have him maybe go up against the Authority...
Yeah.
And have a Lesnar and a Heyman be in against the Authority, maybe have a couple other guys that are kind of like, yeah, fuck the Authority type thing. And then have the Lesnar be kind of the face of that. Have Tripp be like, fuck it, I'm bringing my boys in. And have Tripp be the face of NXT saying, you know what, I've been grooming these guys to fucking unleash hell, basically.
Yep.
And Steen be the fucking guy that's his guy, too. And, you can have the Rollins and the Ambrose be a part of it in some form or fashion, obviously being a big part of NXT in the past of that NXT. Rollins being the first NXT champion. There's a ton of idea. But one thing that I think is really, really key, and has been Steen's motto for however long he's been, which is he has that Punk feel to him. He's not a character. He is Kevin Steen. He is no bullshit. He's no fluff. He has no character add-ons that really are worth noting. He's just Kevin Steen. He is a guy who just goes out there, Kevin Owens, whatever. He's just Kevin Owens. He's a guy who goes out there, he wrestles, and really what he's saying is the total truth. He's out there because of his family, to produce for his family, to produce for himself, and to win championships and get money, and that's what he's got. And one big thing that really reminds me of Punk, which Punk and Steen have always been very hand-in-hand when it comes to their characters and when it comes to them in the wrestling world. Because when they hit the screen, it's not like a fabrication of it. It's not like it's not somebody playing a character. Mm-hmm. It's somebody going out there, and it just feels edgier. And with all these segments that I have seen with Owens with Cena out there, there's just this buzz feel, which could be a beginning stage of what it's going to turn into, which could have a Punk feel of what Punk did once everything hit the fan with him and his character just took off, and then it finally got a little cookie cutter and they turned him face and this and that. But it just has a very raw and gritty and non-PG era feel. And he has that. We wanted an Ambrose to have that, but they turned Ambrose into a cartoon character, basically. And once he gets out of that rut, he'll be in the same, sort of thing. But Steen has that aura where he's not playing anybody. He's not being anyone. He's Kevin Owens. And he does whatever the hell he wants. He says whatever he wants. And he does anything he wants to anybody he wants to. And it just has that, again, it just has that Punk feel to it, where it's just very raw, very gritty, and you just kind of feel like, okay, I'm turning off the day in, day out operations of WWE for a second when this guy hits the television screen, because you could just tell something just changes. The Austin had it, Rock had it, all those kind of guys, Shawn had it, all those guys had it, and Punk had it for sure. He was like the spokesperson for that, especially with, in Austin too, back in his era, where it was, the day in, day out things of the guys just going the paces and the kind of sheepish thing. When this guy hits the screen, it just has an edgier feel to it, and something feels special, and he's got that, and I think it could just boost off in fucking stratosphere with it.
And just branch off what he said, I sent him a video, and it was Kevin Owens' son watching
it's great.
Cena and his dad fight, and what? My daddy's going to fight John Cena, blah, blah, blah. Right. Kevin Owens talks about, like, the stuff, and, like, doesn't, like, you believe, you do whatever you want, but this is who I am, this is what I do. And, there's some characters that are like, okay, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to be this person today, like, I'm going to go to work and be a cop and follow all the rules, but when I'm home, I do this. Right. Kevin Owens goes, up, going to work, okay, Daddy, see you later. Okay, Daddy's going to be the same fucking person when he comes home. Right. But, I don't know. I feel like this match is going to be the stepping stone of a lot of shit to happen soon. Yeah. And like we just said, we sat here for, 10 minutes and just thought of all these ideas. Right. Just think of what WWE can do since they signed Owens, since they signed the Kraken, since they signed this person, that person. So,
right. So
we got to go on because I start spilling in more. It's not.
I know. And we'll have to save some more. We'll have to save some more for the topic. So, but yes, topic though. Can't fucking talk tonight. But yeah, definitely have more for that. But so looking forward to this one, and definitely a pull-string match for sure with Owens and Cena here.
And Edinburgh.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Elimination Chamber matchup for the vacant Intercontinental title. We have Dolph Ziggler, Rusev, Sheamus, King Barrett, Ryback, and R-Truth somehow finding his way in this matchup instead of Neville. Why? Yeah, a lot talent in here. Definitely with the first four. I'd say there's 4.5 amount of people talent in this matchup. Half talent, maybe.
Maybe Ron Killings.
Ron Killings gets half talent, but R-Truth gets not so much love. Yeah, a lot of the biggest thing going on here, you had Sheamus and Ziggler doing their thing. That kind of broke off after Payback. Then started up with Ziggler and Rusev and doing the stuff with Lana, and Lana breaking away from Rusev and doing her whole...
I actually like that.
Doing their whole... It's intriguing, doing their whole Sable Mark Marrow thing.
I forgot that.
But it's it is what it is. It's intriguing. It's different. I think Lana fit perfectly with Rusev. I think she helped his character out. I think a lot. So that might hurt Rusev a bit. But then again, we've been hurting Rusev the last 3 months. So why the fuck not? Interaction with Ziggler. Yeah, it is what it is. You got that whole sexual undertone of Ziggler's character, and it's always been there with with Lana. So with his character, now adding it in with Lana.
You ever realize how many, divas have gone with Ziggler through his career?
There's Vicky.
AJ.
Yeah, for a portion, yeah, that's true.
Didn't you have Caitlyn?
Yeah, they kind of did something weird with AJ and Caitlyn or something like that. He really hasn't had a lot, though. You'd expect him to have more. I've always said, I think, adding a valet to Ziggler's character, I think, would help out a lot if they had the right person to do it with.
Just for talking.
Yeah, maybe that too. Maybe they'll have that in with Lana. Maybe she'll drop the Russian accent and pull a Kofi and stop being Jamaican. She'll stop being Russian and have that.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, that's what they did. Do that with Lana and Ziggler. Who knows where that really goes. To me, I see one of those two coming out with the IC title here just because it's the only built-up story that is involved with the 6 people in this matchup. You have, Truth and Ryback and Barrett out and Sheamus out there just having random matches just to kind of set it up and getting them over and, getting them hot going into the pay-per-view. But the only setup stuff was with Rusev and Ziggler. So I see one of the two of them coming out of that, out of this chamber with the IC title. Would hope for a Ziggler. But then again, it's, it seems like anytime you turn on a random pay-per-view over the past 5 years, Ziggler's got the title, IC title, somewhere here or there. So what's the difference? And Rusev coming out of, the U.S. title and coming out of the feud with Cena, and now you're just going to go to the other secondary title and give it to him. There's really no progression one way or another with any guy you go here. You throw it on Sheamus, it kind of seems like, yeah, okay. You would think a Sheamus would maybe start to move up towards the, the main event type scene, but giving him the IC title, yeah, I could see it. Barrett, I could see it. Truth and Ryback, no.
Hope not.
I definitely hope not. But yeah, Barrett, he's got his whole king thing because, he won the King of the Ring, so he has to be king. He doesn't need a title, really. Sheamus, I wouldn't say needs really a title. A Ziggler, yeah, it helps his character out, but again, we've seen it time and time again. But I would see either Ziggler or Rusev coming out with the IC title in this matchup. But didn't really talk about the talent, but obviously there is some talent in here. Could be some great stuff with the talent involved here. I mean, it's Elimination Chamber. It's always the opportunity for being a great match. Has there been bad ones? Yeah. But with the talent that's in here, I don't envision that really being a bad one. So should be some good stuff here, and I'm going with either a Ziggler or Rusev kind of scenario going down for the new Intercontinental Champion.
I love thinking of random ideas when I sit here and have nothing else to
That's what we do.
Thinking maybe we have a Wyatt appearance.
How?
Take out Ryback, have Wyatt, or
do we want to see that?
No, let me finish. Have the Wyatt family take out Ryback. And he just
dark out or something.
Yeah, and he just disappears, and then Wyatt have the chamber start.
Yeah.
You see Ryback being carried out by the Wyatt family, and this Wyatt just sitting in the cage.
Yeah, they still haven't done the full reuniting of the Wyatt family. I would love to say not having Wyatt on this card. It's just kind of here and there with him now, which is kind of unfortunate. But
I think he's not 100%. What I keep thinking, but
maybe I don't know.
But let me finish my idea, and just have Wyatt win this.
I mean, I would love that.
Because Wyatt hasn't held a title in forever.
Ever. WWE has never held a title.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, Wyatt winning this match.
There you go. Of course, Husky Harris, I think, might have been tag champions with McGillicuddy back whenever it was Punk's Nexus, New Nexus. Watch out there.
I'm sorry, what are these names?
Drop that 2011 knowledge bomb.
Also have Skip Sheffield on this.
Skippy. Where is what was that one dude that had the T? Who's Michael Tarver or something Tarver or some shit?
Didn't he get fired for choking?
Something. You got Gabriel, who's now with Jarrett. I think he's with Cold Force Wrestling or whatever. I think PJ Black or some shit. I don't know.
And then you have David Otunga.
David Otunga was one. Yep. Yeah. We had you had Tarver. You had Tunga. You had
Heath Slater.
Slater Gator. You had Primetime Player.
Which
fucking what the fuck? Not Titus O'Neil. Why can't I think of his fucking name? Titus O'Neil. Darren Young.
Yep.
Darren Young. Yeah, Darren Young.
And Wade Barrett.
True. I don't know why we just went on a random let's name Nexus people, but we just did.
And
also Mason Ryan was in Punks.
Not Fortune. What's the other one?
Cody?
No, not
Legacy.
Nope. It was Nexus and then Core.
The Apple Core.
Yeah,
the Apple Core. Ezekiel Jackson.
Zeke.
Woo! Or as we now like to call Big Rick. Lucha Underground. Dude, I watched 4 episodes of it. I probably will be talking about it now. I know a bunch of people are like, hey, you guys watch Lucha Underground? I had 17 episodes on DVR, and I was feeling like shit on Saturday, and I watched a couple of them, and I was like, I feel better.
I have it on my television.
You need to watch it. It's
fucking
fucking
Spanish version.
Yeah, you need to watch the American version with shitty ass fucking Vampiro's fucking commentary and Matt Striker, Captain Noel.
Yeah, hey, how about we finish this because I need to go eat dinner.
Right. Do you have a winner in that?
Wait, what?
Kelly's calling you. I think that's Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
She's like, why are you still doing this fucking video? Next up, we have the main event for the WWE World Championship. I think it would be the main event. I don't think. Maybe they'll do one of the chambers. We have champion Seth Rollins going up against Dean Ambrose here. Looking forward to this. The talent that is involved speaks for itself, obviously. Have produced some great stuff. They had a match on Raw a couple weeks ago that was really, really good. I think that was the same one that they had the Cena Zayn match on, so that Raw definitely produced some quality, some good match quality in that edition of Raw. But yeah, the build around any fucking world title match over the past couple months now, since Rollins has won it, unfortunately, has been terrible. I just haven't given shit. You have your... It's like... we can't say enough how they need to change the structure of Raw, because it's just like...
I think that may be part
you can't find... Yeah, it might be a good thing to talk about. You can't turn on Edition of Raw and figure out what week it is. Every single fucking Raw starts with Trippy and the Authority cutting a fucking promo for 10 minutes, talking about fucking Kane and Rollins. You talk about what's going on with Rollins. It's like literally like the day in the life of the Authority. Hey, what did we do today? What was for lunch? It's like, Jesus, who gives a shit? Fucking think of a new structure, because having the Authority start every single Raw makes me want to change the fucking channel at the beginning of every single fucking Raw, because good God, it's terrible. Ambrose getting thrown here, having the title matchup. Yeah, you know, again, the build is what it is. And the cartoonish nature of Dean Ambrose's character is just, it's tiring. It just needs something fresh. A heel turn would do just leaps and bounds for his character, because that's what we've wanted since day one, to see Dean Ambrose, who is one of the best natural heels in all of professional wrestling, and would pull it off brilliantly. It almost feels like the start of Punk's career in WWE, where he was, you know, the cookie cutter straight edge guy and this and that. I think his character was a lot more intriguing than Ambrose's since he started. But the cookie cutter kind of guy, and he was just playing a character like, I don't drink and I don't smoke and I don't do drugs, and look how great of a wrestler I am. And that's never how Punk talked. That was a terrible impression, but it was pretty terrible. But that's pretty much what he was. He's like, man, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. This is what I come out. This is what I do. So yeah, this is how I am. But there was no just like, hey, I'm CM Punk and this is what I'm going to do type thing, which was, you know, totally off the cuff, and everything was, you know, what Punk was. Man, is he missing the fucking talent that is in WWE right now. Holy fucking shit.
Did you see,
somebody tweeted at him or whatever. He's like, hey, man, you want to change that match with Gargano with Joe, and want to do Joe and Punk? He's like, just tell me when and where and how much. And I'll be like, tell me when and where and how much for the fucking tickets.
Road trip?
Yeah, no shit. I don't really care how far that's going to be at. Oh, are you having that match in fucking Okinawa, Japan? Cool. What time's our flight?
No, what time's it live?
Yeah, what day is it? Yeah. Fuck. So yeah, the fucking talent, he's probably thinking like, shit, I'm going to go get my ass kicked for real, and I look at all the talent I could work with now. Oh, so unfortunate.
Well, I forgot about that nonsense.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, just so hopefully down the road soon we could get a freshening of Dean Ambrose's character, because it's just this past week with having him get hauled off the fucking cops, then have him drive back in like the cop suit and stuff, and he's so crazy, he's the lunatic fringe, and blah. It is not what they're pulling off with Owens. Owens is very natural. It's not playing anything. Ambrose is forced to play a character. It's not his fault. We're not blaming any of this on Dean Ambrose. It's how WWE wants to portray Dean Ambrose, which is the incorrect way to portray Dean Ambrose, which is let him be himself, let him do that. Could he pull off a face correctly without having to do this cartoonish shit? Sure as hell could, but he's not. Unfortunately, they're not having him do that. Looking forward to this. Should be some great quality stuff with the talent involved, but everything outside of it is probably going to fuck it up. Was talking with Quaddy in pre-production. Could have some sort of intriguing shit happen with Roman Reigns in this matchup. Don't really know.
Or Randy Orton's on one too.
Yeah, he hasn't been on there at all either. So you could have some intriguing shit go on. I think he'll probably get involved. You'll probably have Kane and the Authority involved. You'll probably have, you know, Reigns come out and clear the way, and then have some sort of scrum on the outside with them or whatever. And then, you know, Ambrose will be paying attention to that, and then Rollins will do some sort of thing to get the win, and kind of out of nowhere type thing. Pretty easy setup there. Could have some intriguing stuff, maybe a possible heel turn with a Reigns. I think it's drastically needed for his character and for anything he's going to do in the future. But we'll kind of have some short end of the stick set up for anything outside of that after that, because there's really nothing for him to do except for something with Ambrose, because you can't do anything for the title with Rollins anymore. But or if you maybe want to put him with him, play the Authority, and change out a Big Show and a Kane, maybe he could possibly do that. I could see that.
Big Show's dead.
Is he dead? Oh, that's right. That's right. Reigns killed him, so now he'll just take his spot.
Yeah, he's filming
Oh, so he's not going to be
Knucklehead 2, probably.
Oh, there we go. Knucklehead 2, the I don't know. I can't think of a name for it.
Maybe I want to see.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Rollins retaining here. Again, it'll probably be some cheap bullshit way because that's how they got Seth Rollins going because he can't just be a fucking badass heel that beats people because he's better and smarter than them, which is what he should be doing. But they don't do that. I'm going to go with Rollins getting the win, and should be some good stuff here for the title.
There's a lot that WWE needs to do, starting off with the fucking titles, but the way we're doing it with Rollins is kind of like rubbing me the wrong way.
It is.
And whenever you have like a guy like a Brock Lesnar, who everybody knows is going to come back because he's suspended, and nobody really knows when.
Yeah. Who will probably, his suspension will lift magically 3 weeks before SummerSlam.
I was probably thinking like the week before, but
they'll probably set up some more, probably right after Money in the Bank.
But then you have like guys like an Ambrose, what you could do so much with. But
I'm sorry, Money in the Bank's in June, right after Battleground. Maybe he'll show up in Battleground. That'd be kind of cool. Our show in July. So there's 2 months actually before we're up.
I have no idea what month it is currently.
Next month is June.
You know, because everything's starting to fucking run together. But you have like there's so much shit you could do, but you're wasting a guy like a Kane, who like me, J-Man, and I have talked about before. He's very intelligent of what he's doing, like outside the ring and inside the ring. Because look, he's been fucking wrestling since what? 93, 92?
Yeah, a long time.
So he's one of those guys. He's not wrestling every night, but he's still on the fucking roster since then. But you could do like I don't know. Ambrose is kind of getting stale.
A big thing you could do with Kane: use him as a fucking trainer in NXT. Use him as a guy that could be he could be a great like behind the scenes agent type guy.
He could be that.
Just get him off fucking camera.
He could be so much of a character builder.
Yeah.
Because if you look at what the course of Kane's character since fucking when he debuted and fucking made J-Man poop himself, all the way to the fucking crazy one that killed Lita's baby, all the way to fucking not Lita's baby, had a kid with Lita, to fucking all this nonsense. So you have so much shit that Kane's done that you could help build up a character.
Who killed Lita's baby?
Gene Snitsky.
There it is. It was not his fault though.
But then he punted a baby.
That is true. He did punt a baby. Oh damn.
See, this was the good times of Raw.
Was that a good time of Raw? Just seeing Gene Snitsky punt a fake baby into the audience?
How about 3 hours of bullshit being shoved down our throats that you could pretty much map out what the fuck's going on? I agree with J-Man. I see some outside shit going on. I don't want to see what I said before with the Rollins and Kane next month.
Oh, God. As long as it's not in July.
I don't know. There's a lot of shit that can go on. I see Rollins continue on. He needs to continue on. If they give it to Ambrose, it would just make no sense.
Yeah.
Maybe, like J-Man said, Ambrose turning heel, joining the Authority. Maybe continue on with what we were talking about before with the invasions.
You mean Reigns or Ambrose?
Having Ambrose turn heel and join the Authority.
It wouldn't make much sense how to set it up in this match, though. Maybe down the road.
Having Reigns come out and beat down Rollins.
Yeah, I just think Ambrose is... If he's going to be a heel, he needs to be by himself, though, probably. I can see Reigns, though, maybe. Maybe do Reigns and Rollins part of it. Maybe. Fucking who knows. I don't know.
My brain's fried.
I
I just want this to actually be a good 20-minute match. Back and forth, one-on-one. No bullshit Jay security, no Kane, no Tony.
You got at least 30 wrapped up with... You got an hour wrapped up with both the chambers. Because they have to go at least, I think, 25 minutes, 20 minutes.
5, yeah.
So you think with entrances and then the rest of the match alone and anything after that, you got over an hour wrapped up with the 2 chamber matches. So hopefully you can get some time, but I would definitely think with any amount of time it gets, it should be some great stuff. Well, that went way over we should have done. Sorry for the people out there that...
7:57.
I have to go to bed now. It's bedtime now.
I have to take my eyes out. My eyes are burning.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Should be some good stuff. The impromptu kind of throwing this shit together a couple weeks ago, but they threw it together just fine.
And we did too.
Yeah, we did too. But this is now wrap up our WWE Elimination Chamber 2015 preview. Be sure to check out our review after the show on Sunday. For my partner, Quaddy, good job, man. Good stuff. I am J-Man, and thank all of you.
Oh, hold on. Cops' lives matter.
What? What did you say?
Cops' lives matter.
Cops' lives matter.
Cops' lives matter.
Cops' lives do matter. What does that mean?
Did you see the whole publicity thing with Fredbird? He held a sign up that said that, and all these people are fucking up in arms. What? I don't know. I just got an email about it. Because the Cardinals are sorry about that. Okay, it's bedtime. At 2001 King of the Ring.
I just want to do just a Chris Jericho, The Road is Jericho DVD review. Good stuff. Like I was trying to do. For my partner, Quaddy. Good job. I am J-Man, and thank all of you for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse, professional wrestling world.